Okay, folks, we're up here. I'm up here with Derek McIlerney. There's Derek.
Hello, folks.
And Declan down there. Two concerned citizens of Drogheda. And we have Finko is with us as well.
Citizens are weeds from the land. We
Yeah.
come from the land of Era.
So we've arrived here anyway. What's the name of this graveyard, Derek?
This is known as Calvary Graveyard in Drogheda. And Michael,
You're on here now, Derek.
Yeah.
So explain what we're doing here.
right, well, the one thing we're doing here is monitoring the graveyards, monitoring the freshly deceased. And we started this about a year and a half ago. This plot here, especially, Michael, just show over there. You can see where the first fresh grave is here. Even that one there, okay? So you're talking a number of graves. I think that's the only foreign name that's here, and that's even a Roma gypsy, I think. Yeah?
Yeah.
With no grave around it. But all these graves are all new graves. They run, Michael, from here. All this row down here and this other row over here are all fresh graves. This graveyard here normally does about 6 graves per year, 7 in normal times, yeah?
Yeah.
But what has happened here?
These are all fresh graves,
Fresh
guys. Look at
graves.
these.
This is a mass casualty event.
Just walked in the gate. Okay.
Look at the dates on them. 25. Look at the dates. You think I'm lying?
All
I'm
fresh
not
graves.
lying.
25.
All brand
25.
new. All brand new.
25.
More than 30 bodies.
25. Fresh grave. That one is 25 as well. 25.
Yes.
25.
Okay,
That
that's
one is 2020. This one 25. 25. 25. This is unbelievable. 25. 25. 25. 24. 25. 25. 25. 25. Look, fresh graves. Fresh graves.
These go.
Now, I've passed.
5 last week, lads.
Look, I've passed all of these. That's on one side.
5 last week. 5 deaths in one graveyard.
And this is on this side. This is just,
You don't say how old the people were here, you just say when they were
no,
there.
26. These are all just in the last
26,
week.
26.
Look at this, folks.
March
This
26. These are all March 26.
is just unbelievable.
January 26.
Now this one's. I
26.
want to follow up. I want to follow up on the big marketing of the boss of the hospital that these people, these unfortunate poor souls, come from, and the big boss. Okay, folks, we have a serious issue in Drogheda at the moment with an African immigrant that appeared in Drogheda over 30 years ago, whom the Irish Independent a former nun. This African was never a nun. And this is confirmed officially. This African, whoever in the name of God this woman is, because this woman, let me tell you, is absorbing hundreds of thousands of euro and is a director in the Lord's Hospital, just straight across here. Mr. Fergus O'Dowd, Senator Fergus O'Dowd. Yes? His brother, a very close friend of Hillary Clinton and the journal.ie.
Move your hand off the top of
Yeah.
the headline.
Has appointed this African lady into power. Okay? And since this black lady came to power, all these graves started appearing, dead bodies.
Can I just say something there? Come in there. Hold that there for a second.
Yes.
This woman has her name down here as O'Hare. Her name is not O'Hare. Her name, what is her name?
We cannot find her. Apparently there's things running around the village in Nigeria with the name O'Hare. And there's no explanation to this. Allegedly, this African lady arrived in Ireland, tried to join the nuns, didn't do any training as a nun, but mysteriously ended up finding an Irish priest husband, who's now a big boss also for the health service executive. Yes, so
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
like I mean, I went through investigations overseas with my other work when we came across nefarious objects, but here in Drogheda, I've been keeping a good close eye on this. Michael, I even have a young girl, yes, who is demanding an investigation into this woman's behaviour. This lady's behaviour in the Lord's Hospital, who likes to get the Garda, and send the Garda to people's houses the moment people begin asking
If she's
questions.
challenged in any way.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. This woman is a bully. I am hearing reports of nurses getting their jaws broken in the Lord's Hospital by savages, third world savages. We have Pakistani security.
As in patients coming in and they're assaulting nurses and the hospital staff. I've heard that myself in other hospitals.
The Lord's Hospital is full of sub-Saharan Africans, I believe, that cannot read nor write, and their exams, their audits and everything is being fraudulently submitted. I believe that Lord's Hospital is out of control. Yeah?
There was a recent headline I read somewhere. There was a raid in some place in Nigeria, and they found hundreds and thousands of false documents.
Documentation.
They were all false degrees.
That's it.
Medical degrees mainly.
Not only that, Michael, there was recently here, I was monitoring a gang of Africans in Drogheda. Bud Light Medical Services. Can you believe that's what they call the company? Bud Light. I reported it to the guards about that doesn't look right there. The Drogheda Gardaí are refusing to investigate anything.
Yeah, they made it up in the bush, it sounds like.
Yes. It turned out that this group was being investigated by the National Surveillance Unit of the Gardaí, the Garda Intelligence, who shut it down, and they were providing fake Garda vetting cards.
Yeah.
Yes.
So have they links to the Black Axe group?
Black Axe criminal operations
Yeah.
on the island. We've got Muslim Brotherhood, we've got Black Axe, we've got South Americans that were kicked out of America. You can see the recent arrival of all the Somalians.
Yes,
They're the Bananas and Rice gang from the USA. They were on the TV shouting about bananas and rice. They're here now. They're here. You will see the reason, people, why they were kicked out of the United States.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, folks, Nigeria. We have to start asking questions about Nigeria on this island, because a lot of these people are not here for good reasons. I am calling for an investigation into this African woman, whatever her name is. She's not under protection. She's not here under asylum. So there's no reason, she's a public servant, there's no reason why anybody from Ireland should not be able to do
her job.
Background check on this African national here.
Yeah.
And who is this African national? And can this African national explain all these dead bodies
coming out of the hospital that she's a director in?
Correct. Not only that, we will do an interview with one of the victims, with the wife of one of the victims, who's demanding an investigation be opened at this moment.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, folks, the members of the Garda Síochána, the individual members, right, the settled fellas, they own three houses in their wives' name, their daughters' names, their families' names. They're subsequently making money. They're making €100 per brown head. This is all about money, folks.
Yes, it is.
And this is about criminality, and it's about crime, serious crime. The problem is now the criminals are wearing uniforms.
It goes as far as to say genocide.
Well,
I would go as far as to say that.
I'm going to let the courts decide this, and there have to be military courts, because this here isn't by no means a
Shall we move down a
crime.
bit further on and just to have a look at what preceded this row?
Foreign. They're all Irish names.
They're all Irish names. Yeah, that's what I was wondering was this is happening in every town in Ireland. Like I come from a town in North County Dublin, and there's a funeral in my town every day. Sometimes two every day. Do you know? And the same in quite a few of the surrounding towns. You drive past any church in North County Dublin, and there's a funeral on every day. Do you know?
There's a young lady there. Look, Michael.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's one foreign name there. Yeah, a beautiful little cross and the whole lot. And that's a young lady. Look, God
Yeah, well, you
bless
see,
her soul.
there's the thing about the vaccination is coming out
Well,
by
these
the
were,
day.
yeah, well, these were not vaccinations. These
Yeah.
were a gene therapy. These are an
Yeah.
mRNA. These were the definition for vaccine has been changed. The
Yeah.
definition for human has been changed. The definition for woman has been changed.
Yeah,
You ask any Garda now what's a woman, and watch the response you'll get.
yeah. It's
We're
grand,
in
it's-
serious trouble, folks.
Yeah, and it's like anything natural has been done away with. They don't want to speak in
Anything
natural language.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They don't do natural.
There's more new fresh graves
There
here.
you go. Declan, what
Look.
do you have to say to this? Speak
Yeah,
up.
Declan,
It's
what,
all a bit odd, isn't it?
Speak up there.
I'm
Voice
have you
your
on camera here, Declan. Tell me your opinion about what's going on here. Look at these, all of these graves here. Look at them. 2024, 24, 25, 25, 24. These are all recent. How could you have so many? Look at this. How could you have so many people die in a town in over a couple of years? Look at this. You wouldn't get this if this was a massacre. This is a massacre.
That's what it is. It's a mass casualty event.
Yeah. Like all of these graves over here that I'm pointing at.
It's a mass casualty
Look at it,
event.
from 2022 to 2025. Just, can we get a count here?
Well, there's probably over
Venko,
30.
would you run and do a quick count throughout the whole,
2 here, 11 there.
all of this section?
telling you
How,
there,
how many
22.
graves are here?
Over about
There's
40,
over 100.
Yeah, well, over 100.
Over 100 probably.
Do you know? Okay, there's a lot of old people here as well.
Yeah.
But
But tying into all them things that you've just been saying there, Michael, about we have to talk in a different way, a woman is a different thing,
yeah,
language has changed, the Irish way is
been
changing.
butchered.
And it looks to me like I can't help but feel that there's something demonic going on here, that there's an attack on Irish Christianity. Whether you're a Christian or not, or practicing one or not, we live in a culture that holds Christian values highly, and our line is on a Christian value. And we're looking at something different infiltrating our country, and we're looking at our country changing dramatically in a way that it's never been in living memory before. And there's something
This is
demonic going on
Cromwellian.
here. And what I'd say to people who are, whether you're Christian or practicing Christian or not, you live in a country with Christian values. And I'd if anything, I'd say have a look at the Bible. Have a look at Ephesians 10:6 or 6:10. Put on the full armour of God. That's what I'd say. Put on the full armour of God, and stand against the devil's schemes. Because our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but it's against the rulers, against the authority.
It's
against dark
European
powers
monarchies
against
actually.
dark
Yeah.
powers in this world,
Yeah.
and evil
Yeah.
spirits in heavenly realms.
Yeah.
Therefore, put on the full armour of God, so that you can stand against the devil's schemes.
Can I just come in there for a sec? Vincent, did you get a kind of a rough count on what's going on? How many graves
Yeah,
here?
56.
56 in just
There
this.
is 22, 11 plus 5.
Yeah, is this in this section or this whole section?
This whole section,
Yeah.
56.
So there we go, folks.
There,
56,
22,
56 from
11 plus 5.
in one town from 2022 to now.
And you
Now there's
request-
other graves down further on
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
from 2022 and
That
further
are
on
not
as
even
well.
counted upon.
That we haven't counted. This is just this first section that we had a look at coming in the door, coming in the gate. Of this is just unheard of. What's going on? 60 deaths in a couple of years.
Even in some villages in Ukraine, you don't see this. You would never.
Yeah, this is a
even in
huge.
Ukraine,
This
you
is a
wouldn't see this.
huge attrition of people
Yeah.
in a town.
And you want to look after people in Ukraine. Look after the people here in Drogheda first.
But
yeah?
this is just one graveyard
This is
here.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to say. My point exactly.
Yeah,
But
This
all
is-
coming
yeah.
from the one hospital, yeah?
yeah,
Now, what happens when corporations take over medicine, yeah? And when corporations are involved in governance, that's fascism,
yes, it is. Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So the
and
last
and
time-
death becomes profitable.
Right. Well, the last time this type of carry-on appeared its ugly head was in 1930. Yeah?
Yeah.
1930 didn't end well for this group the last time. How this group remained and got back into power, I do not know. But they're back in power again.
They sure are, and this time they're flying low under the radar.
That's right. I'm showing
Yeah.
you there the Drogheda senator there with a black African lady, yeah, who's a big boss in the hospital there now. The one question I want to know is, are all these foreign operatives, because obviously they're operatives, they're operating on behalf of somebody, are they qualified? Where were they trained and where were they schooled?
They're not qualified.
Because they're trying to
Yeah.
tell us educated people with African experience that these people have master's degrees from UCD and they do not.
No.
They cannot speak proper technical English. They're not qualified nor educated. And we need an investigation into why the hell they were given that power. Yeah?
Yeah, and who gave them that power, and who
you
gave
go.
them the mandate to give them that power?
Well, that's
Do you know, like,
But here's the result now.
here's the result, yeah,
Here's the
absolutely. And there's as we said, there's young people in among these graves. These are not all old people. There's a man there, 56 years of age. That's not natural. There's a man here, 83 years of age. I wouldn't lift an eyelid at that. But as I go through, there's a man 47 years of age. There's a man 76. I wouldn't bat an eye. But do you know,
There, look at this Barry O'Brien.
here's a young man, very young man. So this is what's going on. They don't have all their ages. 42 years of age, young woman.
There's your bodies. There's your bodies. There's the suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's all the components of a very serious crime there for the public to see. Gardaí then own the iPass houses. They're told not to investigate. Only
Yeah.
investigate the white middle class Irish.
And now
Yeah?
the Minister for Justice has an iPass centre as well.
His own operation running up in Slamullen, I believe. yeah?
Unbelievable,
Making money out of it.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Is this all worth money? Is
That's-
this all-
that's what
who
it
are
is now,
these
you know.
people, Michael? What are these people?
I believe that they're agents for nefarious system that runs Europe. That's what I believe.
Because this is an island
Yeah.
and we need to shut this island down and we
Yeah.
need to clear it out. And this people, Irish people, need to stop talking about the world. The world
Yeah.
is none of our business. We shut
Yeah.
the island down and we kick out what doesn't belong here.
And we're totally self-sufficient if we wish.
Absolutely.
We don't need this. It's all about. I saw Micheál Martin bragging to the Americans about the billions that Ireland creates for the American economy and for this.
Especially for the drug companies. They've
Yeah.
done well there, America, yeah? Look,
Now,
have a look.
We don't need any of this. We don't need any of this profiteering. We just need to live our lives. You know, I don't know what this. What is all this profiteering about anyway? It's not about looking after the Irish
This
people
is
in any way,
crime.
shape,
This
or
is-
form.
this is
It's all crime.
piracy. It's
Yeah,
piracy.
it is piracy.
It's
Yeah.
piracy. That's all it is. Isn't
Yeah.
that what happens on an island when you're robbed like this? When your people are murdered? When your
Yeah.
money is stolen? It's piracy. And
Right,
the
folks.
pirates are still here. This is the problem.
All right, folks. This is quite an in-depth introduction to what we're about
We
to
will
do
speak
here.
to one of the wives of one of these victims.
Yeah.
We will organise that video to come up next. Yeah.
This is just the first video of that we're going to make of a series, and we will continue. We'll get back to you again. Right, thanks, folks. Thanks very much, Mark, Derek, and we'll
Okay.
cut it short now.
That's
Thank
it.
you.